Hello, everyone. I actually thought I was going to be on time for a minute. Silly me. All right. Why is that post still circulating? Okay. The hell, it never went through. Rude. All right. Is there anything? Oh yeah, I need to disconnect this. You know how long it's been since I've done a live chat on here, guys? Episode 9 of The Flash. That was the last time I did a live chat, guys. So I am very out of practice. Why is this constantly not working? Give me a second, guys. I'm having trouble with the books of faces. Third time's the charm. We? No. Do I have to actually click that button to make it go away? Oh my god, really? Fucking useless. Alright, I am now here, probably. At least physically. Whether mentally, who knows. It is unseasonably hot here right now, so I have my window open, so you might hear some outside noise. There's a fan on the roof across the street, across the courtyard from me that's quite loud. Like, I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can. So there might be some background noise. It is what it is, man. All right. Hello, Justin. Hello, Scott. Hello, Laura. Hello, Eddie. Hello, other people that are probably going to stroll in here. Why have I got just like one, like, you ever get like one pixel? I don't even know how to describe, like, fleck of skin on like her face somewhere that's just itchy and nowhere else. Like, I can feel it's like right there, like not the whole area, just like one fucking pixel. It's annoying. All right. I don't know why I cleared my throat that many times. I didn't need to. I've not done this in a couple of minutes, so I am maybe rusty. That's my excuse. All right. R.I.P. Superman and Lois. Wait, did it get canceled since this afternoon? I just looked like an hour ago and I saw nothing. Okay. So I see there's just some rumors, nothing solid. Okay. You had me confused for a second. I thought something had actually come out in the last hour. What's up, CG? Hope all is well. Are you excited for the Ahsoka series this summer? I guess. I mean, when it gets here, we'll see. What's the latest you heard on Superman and Lois being renewed or canceled? It's going to either be renewed or canceled, one or the other. You can guarantee that. Hello. Kung Fu has been canceled. Yes, it has. My watch list for the rest of the year for sure is Flash movie, Ahsoka series, and the Marvel films. Will you watch all of those? Well, I'll watch the Flash movie, probably the Ahsoka series. I don't even know what Marvel films there are. I haven't heard of anything coming out, so I'd have to look and see what there is. I know we saw an awesome episode 9. What did you think about 10 and 11? 10 was holy fucking shitballs amazing, and 11 was decent. I think a lot of people are probably, hello Cal, I think a lot of people are going to be a little cranky on episode 11 because it had a lot of Team Flash in it, but let's be honest, it's still pretty good compared to the rest of season 9. It's just, it followed after episode 9 and episode 10, which are just delivering A+ material. So people are probably going to look at episode 11 as a little bit of a letdown because we were on this hill going up and now it kind of just like went this way. But I still think it's a good episode. Like, it's a good episode. It's just we had better episodes just before it. So it's kind of, it's like if you got served cake and ice cream first, and then someone came along and goes, and here's an apple juice. Like, apple juice, it's fine, but you just had cake and ice cream, you know? um, I like the Eddie stuff the most in the episode. That's good to hear. Do we know what year Eddie was in? Yes, there was a sign behind him in one scene when he was standing in that alleyway hearing the voices. It said 2049 right on it. Like, they clearly put that sign there solely so people had an idea where he is. You could also kind of tell by they tried to age up Officer Korber, and they tried to age up what's her face at the CC Media, Taylor. Like, they did the like Javicia thing with her where they put like a couple of little strands of gray in her hair, and then with Officer Korber they just gave her a very much more mature look to try and make it show you that they're older and like in more higher positions of power. CD, how long do you think the writer's strike will go? Months. Episode 10, I was in tears. That was a good way to bring everything full circle to season 1 because of Barry. Oh yeah, an amazing episode. It's going to be hard to find people that are going to critique it much. Your money is on cancellation for Superman and Lois? All right. Well, I mean, it's going to go one way or the other. I think Eddie will get his cobalt suit in next episode. Maybe. I don't know for sure. I never saw him on set for 12, so I can't say. Actually, technically, I guess I did see him on set for 12. I just didn't know I saw him on set for 12. So let's go back and talk about those set photos I posted for episode 9/11 where they're at the graveyard. They did 2 nights there. They did 1 night, and then they came back 2 weeks later and shot there again. When they shot there again the second time, I was told by a crew member it was reshoots. Because the first time they went there and there was a windstorm that night. So I think I was under the impression that some of their work didn't get completed. And I think even the crew member was under that impression. But it appears they were also there for 9/12. Because we know for a fact that scene with him and Korber carries over into next episodes. So yeah, kind of weird. Taylor looked the same, except they did that thing that they try to do when they're trying to make people look older than they are without like a lot of makeup. They just put like a couple of flecks of gray in their hair to make it look that way, and it's the cheapest attempt in the world, but you know they're on a budget, so. Scott, it's their second biggest hit after Walker. It's got a very good shot at renewal. It's got a shot at renewal, but you got to remember Trekopedia. The problem is it's also an extremely expensive show to make compared to other shows. At the end of the day, Superman and Lois cost money to make. That's the reality of it. So, I wouldn't say very good shot. I say it's got a shot. Was Grant on one of the breaks from 9/11, or is that when he got COVID? He got COVID in 9/13, he said. I don't know why. I mean, I understand why, because the story dictated that was the case. Thing is, he carried a lot of screen time in 9/10. Like, he was in a gross amount of 9/10. So it makes sense he would not be in much of 9/11. Because you're not going to work you're not working your actors 4 weeks straight. Like, people, not everybody, but there's some people that have got this impression that this is a typical 9 to 5, Monday to Friday job that these guys are doing, and it's not. There are days where they're doing 14-hour days, and then there's days where they don't work more than 2 hours. He did several, probably 10 plus hour days for the episode before, which means episode 11, they're kind of like, all right, we kind of need to give him a break. We're gonna lighten up his schedule, give him like 2 days of work. And then 9/12, he's probably back to doing, because they know he's going to be in a lot of 9/12, 9/13, and he was in a lot of 9/10 and 9/09. So they're kind of like, we need to give him a break somewhere. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like, you can't work a guy a month straight 10-hour nights. Like, you just can't do it. So yeah. Superman and Lois is expensive to make, correct. Scott reports are they'll pick up one DC show. Flash is done. Gotham Knights is imploding. Superman and Lois has amazing ratings. But the ratings mean nothing if they can't make money off it, Trek. The end of the day, Superman and Lois is an expensive show to make for a network that gets no viewers. Gotham Knights might have shit viewership, but it is dirt cheap to make compared to Superman and Lois. Let me try and do like a breakdown. Okay, I'm going to do some mathing, so give me a moment here. Okay. Oh my god, I have to do real math. Give me a second, guys. I did this backwards and now I've screwed it up. I'll answer a couple things and I'll try and do it. Sucks that Barry misses Nora's being born. Yeah. Does it? I mean, I doubt Nora remembers it. Could the Winchesters move to Amazon since Jensen Ackles has a new deal at Amazon? No. Amazon's a completely different company than Warner Brothers. They're rivals. They have no overlap at all. They wouldn't have to put gray in my hair. LOL, I have white hair on my sides of my head, and I'm like, go nuts, folks. You don't have to do any work. Okay. Well, I mean, for some other people, that's not the case. Like, yeah, it is, did Titans air its finale yet? No idea. I know what you're saying, Cannagrass. I just mean I'd go with quality over cost. Yeah, you would because you're a fan. They won't because they care about how much money they make off it. This is a business for them. They will make a business decision at the end of the day. If they look at Superman and Lois and they're like, I think Superman and Lois has a higher profitability margin than Gotham Knights, they will take Superman and Lois. If they think Gotham Knights has a higher profitability margin than Superman and Lois, does not matter that Superman and Lois is a 9 out of 10 show and Gotham Knights is a 5 out of 10 show, they're taking Gotham Knights. This network is only concerned about profitability now because it is not owned by the CW and CBS anymore. It is a private company. Superman Lois has been strong all season, but this week felt we are now entering the climax. Yeah, this week a couple big steps happened, right? We got our introduction to Lex, kind of. The secret about onomatopoeia is out finally. We got a few things. There's questions about who's the mystery soup that froze a fire out. Like, there's some things going on that might need answered if this is the final season. Barry almost wanted to kill Thawne, but he knows he couldn't do it. But seeing Barry as the version of himself saving younger self was amazing. Yeah, everyone loved that moment. I guess they filmed the big scene with villains with the stunt double and might add Grant in post. Only if he has to speak. If he has a speaking line, then yeah, they would have to add that later, do some fancy editing. But if he doesn't have to speak in the scene, no. Flash was good, not as good as last week, but still important episode with lots of key stuff revealed and moved forward. Yeah, exactly. It was good, but not as good as last week. And I think that's fine. When you have one of the show's top 10 best episodes ever, it is really hard to expect the next episode to carry that same weight, you know? People are saying the reveal of Mannheim's son being Nat's boyfriend was predictable. Yeah, I know. Lots of people called that for a while. Predictable doesn't mean bad. Also, Deadline is saying Jensen is being allowed to shop the Winchesters around to other places. He'd still need Warner Brothers' permission to finalize the deal, and they're not going to give it to another competitor. Titans finale came out today. Okay. Oh yeah, someone asked about that in chat. Thanks, Laura. I didn't know why you said that, but okay, now I remember. Are you getting a Chegra wedding in the finale? Oh, fingers crossed. They better be, right? That better be all the episode is about. Like that lineup I saw at the thing of all the heroes and villains standing there. That should be like, I hope that's like the aisle that like they have to walk down to to do the thing. Maybe Savitar is going to be the old guy that stands at the front that says, "Do you take blah 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 guy?" That's who it is. The ring bearers are going to be Godspeed and Thawne, and then you'll have the like ones that give them away will be Zoom and Cobalt Blue. Yeah, yeah. Now you see it. Now it's all coming together. You enjoyed Gotham Knights, and CG hasn't seen it yet. You will say no more. Thank you. I am now 3 episodes behind on that show, and every week when Superman and Lois comes out, I watch it later because I'm just not up at that time of day right now. Last night, I really wanted to watch The Flash live. I really wanted to, but I set my alarm, got up. Well, I didn't get up. I woke up from the alarm. It was 10 minutes to showtime. I looked at it and I'm like, I think I'm going to have a nap. And chose to nap over doing it. So, yeah. The last 2 episodes I really want to watch live, but last night's yeah. Same as tonight, like right before this. I know I made a tweet a while ago saying, oh, I'm going to do a live chat in a while. I went and had a 20-minute nap after I made that tweet. I'm like, yeah. We're about to get into a really ugly heat wave for like the next 4 days. So I'm going to be napping a lot. People seem to think Cisco will be in the finale. I say 10% chance. I say 0.1%. I will not say 0 because there's always the chance they got the go ahead to pay off a day's worth of work to have Cisco in a scene for one moment. He physically did not come into Vancouver. So he would have had to film somewhere else, which means paying off everybody in Vancouver for a day of work so that he can do a scene somewhere else. Incredibly unlikely. And the office for The Flash doesn't even close until tomorrow. And the finale is in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. The likelihood they would wait until Saturday to film a scene for him. Oh, they can't even do it. There's no fucking writer's strike. They couldn't do one right now. No, he's not in it. No. I say 0% chance now that I think about that part. The only way he's in it is if they use reused footage. If they use reused footage of him, he's in it. If not, he's not in it. All right. I'm glad Barry didn't reveal who he was to his parents because he comes a long way and he realizes that he didn't want to ruin the future. Yeah, I think he's learned enough lessons that he knows he can't do that anymore. Do you think that Kyle will put Jonathan in danger? I don't know. I think what's going to happen is actually I don't know what's going to happen. I actually don't. I saw someone somewhere say maybe Kyle will think that Jonathan's superpowered, and he'll put the pieces together because he saw Clark in the restaurant that day take that like shove without moving, and he'll realize they might be superpowered and all this stuff. I don't know. I mean, anything's possible, but I don't know. Joe and Cecile could get married. No one cares about that. What do you think about the part where Barry came back when Iris was in labor, and then the moment she was at the hospital, he leaves again? Like poor Barry can't catch a break. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see where that leads. I mean, I know where it leads because I know what was filmed. Well, part of what was filmed in 9/12, but I don't. Yeah. So just to make sure I'm right, 2023 Barry is the Barry we saw at the very beginning of the show, right? I don't know what you mean by that. You have to clarify what you're trying to say there, Scott. Who's going to air what's going to air on CW now that they're eviscerating most of their programming? At this point, I'd reset after the Superman finale and go back to 3 nights a week, cut my losses. Purchase programming. They have a shit ton of programming that already aired somewhere else that they've purchased. Like they've got like 3 or 4 Canada shows. They've got an Australia show. Then they're just doing some of that cheap content like Penn and Teller shit and crap like that. They're putting their focus into programming. They do not have to invest money in making. It is so much easier for them to buy Family Law at dirt cheap and air it as new content in the US than it is for them to physically make a show like Family Law. Because to make Family Law, you know, they would have to spend this much an episode. To just buy the rights to air Family Law in the US from the Canadian company that already makes it is like this. Barry called Martin Stein last week. Did Victor Garber actually do recording what's that piece together from an old episode? I don't know. I mean, Victor Garber was around here for Family Law up to probably pretty close to the time that episode ended. I'd have to look at the dates, and I don't have access to that right now. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna check something. I'll be back in a second. Oops. I tried to block my camera using the tab on my computer instead of on my phone. Be good. Cool. The site that I would usually get that info from, something's wrong with their page, so I can't even look it up. But he was here somewhat kind of close to that time. Plus, he's Canadian, so it's not like he has to like fly in from anywhere. I think him and his partner like live over on Vancouver Island somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that part, but I know they're Canadians. So yeah. After the Flash movie, can we have a major spoiler discussion stream? Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing after that. Like, that's several weeks down the line. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. Cisco could have done something remotely. Yeah, starting Saturday he can. Starting Saturday, they can film the Flash wherever the hell they want. If they want to film a scene in Antarctica, they can do it. I mean, they can't because there's a writer's strike, but they could have done that. I would just like to see the Flash end with him running off to stop a crime, and he does the "My name is Barry Allen" speech, and we end that way, so it keeps door open for Grant to make appearances. Make appearances where? There's no shows left. I think Sky's trying to say our current Barry is the version of the Barry that saved his younger self before he became the Flash. Oh, I believe that's what they're implying, right? I believe that's how they were making that play out, I think. Will you watch Marvel movies with Miss Marvel? Who knows? At the time when that Miss Marvel series came out, I was kind of excited for the idea of it in the moment, but that's long washed out of my system. They would have to show me something that makes me want to see it right now. And I don't even know if they've come up with an ad for it. appearing on Superman and Lois, I mean, since he knows the multiverse exists. Nope, not a chance in hell that happens. They're not going to drag this Superman and Lois into the Arrowverse in the final season after they fought so hard to disconnect it. They're not going to do that. They aggressively fought to disconnect it, so. Okay. Sorry, I was just reading a DM, so. Kyon really coming into her powers after she used her powers to bring those people back to life that look like the way the was green and all. I mean, I know what you're saying. It was really hard to follow. Sorry. Yeah, she even told them, she's like, it'll wear off in a bit. Just calm the fuck down. I loved the progression of Kyon in this episode. So, you know, it's an interesting thing. We did not talk much since episode 9. So in episode 10, they had that little montage at the start where they show what all Team Flash is doing for a moment. So many people were so confused by why Iris is all of a sudden shaped like a blimp. They gave you that information in that episode before they showed Iris. Nobody, when I say nobody, I mean few people seem to pick up on it. When Kyon was writing that letter, she explicitly says in there that it's been 9 months since she was born, implying she was born around the same time that we know Iris sort of got pregnant, and we know that the first episode of the season was right after the end of last season, because they said in all the promos at the start of the year that it's a week after the end of last season. So we know Kyon was born about the start of that season. That lines up with about the time that Iris and Barry, you know, got pregnant and all that stuff. So when she says it's been 9 months since I'm born, that's her telling you, the viewer, Iris is now 9 months along. We've done a time jump. But a lot of people seem to miss this. There were so many people that were like, "Oh, how did Iris get so big in this?" Like, man, do you not listen? They literally told you in the episode why. So we got to see her a little, some of her skills that week, because that was the first time we had seen her since the time jump, and her skills had clearly progressed a lot. This week, we now know she's got skills, and we saw more of them on display. So yeah, it was kind of cool to see some of that actually worked in. If anybody didn't know, Allegra was knocked out for most of the episode, other than the beginning, was because Kayla Compton directed the episode. I think most people knew that, but just in case they didn't, yes, this was Kayla Compton's directing episode. That is why she was having a nap on the floor and in the bed bay and all that stuff. I was actually really surprised the episode Danielle Pennebaker directed. Danielle Pennebaker was in it more than I thought she would be, considering she directed. Miss Marvel made me mad because of the ending, and then they flat out said you have to watch the Marvels to understand what happened. I'm like, nope. Oh, okay. There's a trailer for it out. Oh, I guess it hasn't crossed my path. Mark that was possessed by Cobalt Blue roasted the heck out of Keon, calling her an abomination. I was like, wow, cold and savage. Right? For a minute, I actually was like, what the fuck is wrong with him? And then we got the reveal. I'm like, okay, all right, okay. Now, I forgive you, Mark, because for a minute I was like, what the fuck happened to this character while he was gone? Because I know in the finale he teams up with the team. What the heck? And then we got that reveal. I'm like, oh. People online saying the Flash is ending because Candace is going to quit because she didn't want to give birth on the show. On like, show is ending because they said it was time to end. Show's ending because Grant didn't want it. They would have gone on for 32 seasons had the CW stuff not happened and Grant had decided he wanted to keep going. Had nothing to do with Candace. Candace doesn't carry that show. Candace carries fandom on that show. And fandoms can be replaced. That happens all the time. Last week's episode of Superman and Lois is 8 and Flash 9. And for this week's Superman and Lois 8 and the Flash 8, both Gotham Knights are 6s. You thought last week's Flash was only a 9, eh? All right. I mean, you're allowed to feel how you want to feel. My ratings, I would have to sit and think a bit about the Superman and Lois one, but the Flash one's easy. Last week's Flash was a 10. This week's is about an 8. Superman and Lois this week was also about an 8, maybe slightly above, maybe like an 8.25. Last week's Superman and Lois, what was last week's episode about? Let me look and see what last week's episode was about. Oh yeah. Yeah. 7.5, maybe a 7.75. I mean, it's still good, but compared to what they've been carrying this season, I think last week's episode was kind of a dip. CW also has golf now too. Oh boy, do they ever! That's funny. I was trying to explain to someone the other day who doesn't keep up on this stuff, the decline of the CW, and I told them that one of the things they're focusing on now is golf, and they replied back something along the lines of like, long as it's not something shitty like live golf, I guess that's not bad. And I'm like, that's exactly what they have. And they're like, oh my God. Like, this is someone that kind of follows golf a little bit. And as soon as I told them they have golf, they're like, well, I mean, it could be worse. It could be live golf. And I'm like, no, that's what they have. Is CW going to do anything to celebrate the Flash's run as a series its last week? Probably not. Apparently we cannot expect Superman and Lois and Gotham Knights to get renewed for Gotham Knights. Wait, let me read. Apparently we can't expect Superman and Lois and Gotham Knights to get renewed. For Gotham Knights, don't really care. But Justice U apparently still on the table. Justice U is nowhere on the table. Justice U isn't even in the same room as the table. Sad that Legends is the only Arrowverse show that didn't get a proper ending. Batwoman didn't get a proper ending. I mean, it wasn't as disconnected as Legends is, but that's also because Legends writer, showrunner, was a moron. You can't blame everybody else on Legends showrunner being a dumbass. Not everybody else's problem. Greeting CG and chat folk. Hi, Defunct. How you doing? How does she have the power to turn him into ash? I mean, I know she has nature-like powers, but I didn't expect that. She sort of explained it. I can't recycle what she said because I don't remember word for word what it was. But she basically turned him back into nature and then rebuilt him back up. I can't explain it because I am not a force of nature. I mean, I know a lot of people probably think I am because I do amazing things, but I'm actually not a force of nature. Yeah. What would you give Mando season 3 out of 10? 7.5-ish, maybe an 8. Yeah, they want to be a sports and reality channel, or they also want to change the name too. Yeah, they'll change the name sooner or later. Eventually, when they purge all of the stuff they don't like, there'll be a name change. Why do you think they couldn't get Cisco back? Probably mostly schedule, but there was probably some budgetary reasons to it too. You got to remember, he was a character on the show for what, 6 or 7 seasons. His guest star rate is not the same guest star rate price as bringing in Teddy Sears. They have to pay him according to his old contract. Like, they brought in Tom Cavanaugh. That probably cost them more than like 2 or 3 of their guest stars combined, even though, you know, it's not that big of a shock to see him back. Same would be kind of the case. I think that's probably the problem with Carlos, but I think it was also scheduling. Kito Shimizu thought they could pressure. Yeah, exactly. Better late than never on name change. They reveal they never wanted to originally call it CW. People in charge wanted it to be called the CWB, but got overruled. Really? I wonder if it got overruled because CBS was like, wait, you don't get 2 letters out of this. That's about the only reason I can think they maybe did that. I don't know. What do you think about the moment when Cecile left the room and she was all sitting on the floor? And then I know it had something to do with the blue crystal. What did you think about the moment when Cecile left the room and she was all of a sudden on the floor? Didn't have any thought to it. It's a scene that's there to get Iris out of the room. Do you think Caitlin will return in the finale? I don't. No. I mean, she could because the actress is obviously in town, but I don't think so. Also, don't they have to let people know they want to change the name anyway? Yeah, you would find out long before it happens. It's not like they're gonna, like, tomorrow all of a sudden start calling themselves the crappy network or something, you know. Like, they would first file for a new name, make sure they have all their ducks in a row so they own legal rights to anything. Then they would make an official announcement, we're changing the name to the Crappy Network. And then 3 months down the line, they would call themselves the Crappy Network in some smaller stuff. And then like 6 months down the line, they would fully implement it in. They vetoed because they didn't want the baggage from the WB channel. People in charge wanted to call it the CWB to let fans know it wouldn't change. Okay. So Cecile and Allegra get suits next episode. Well, we know that Cecile does. Oh, wait, no. Okay, yeah, next episode, we know for a fact Cecile does because I took photos of her on set wearing it. Although the photos I took, she looked fucking black in my photos. Although when she's on set in 13, it looks blue. Allegra, I don't know about. Why they wouldn't have to change the name? It's already the Crappy Network anyway. I cannot confirm nor deny that is possibly accurate. They got me with the Mark twist too. Yeah, I think everybody fell for the Mark twist. It was well played. I was more confused than like, haha, they got me. I was kind of like, why is he being such an asshole? Like I legitimately thought there was some emotional reason he was doing it. Like he wanted her to leave so that he doesn't hurt her or she doesn't hurt him or some type of thing. You know, that stupid pitch we always see shows try and use. I thought that's the line they were going for. So I wasn't like, oh, they really got me. I was just more confused until they explained it to me. Can't wait to see the last 2 episodes. It's going to be bittersweet. The Flash has come a long way since the beginning. Now we get to see Barry fight the guy that saved him in season 1. Yeah. At this point, the writer's strike. Watch them start airing Gilmore Girls reruns again. Well, eventually they're going to have to start airing reruns when you run out of content. It will happen. You will see a huge uptick in reality TV and shit like that. There's going to be a lot of changes in the next 6 months that are not going to be good. And some of those changes are probably going to be permanent that will damage the entertainment content area for a while. Hey, Canada Graphs. Hey, the Simulator. Welcome, man. Mark Twist kind of knew it, had a feeling it confirmed when he said to Keon, "You're abomination." Yeah, see, I still didn't know what was going on yet. I knew that that Mark personally didn't believe that. I thought this was one of those, like, I want you to leave because I don't want to hurt you things. And so he says something really hurtful to make sure she leaves. And that was where I thought it was going until they gave us the reveal. Yeah. Why did Grant Gustin say it's not his fault he wasn't in the majority of the episode this week? Whose fault was it? Where did he say this? When Mark went all nasty, I thought he was likely the one stalking and now possessed due to cheesy directorial choices. Well, is it really the director's choice? They're not the ones that write the episode. They have limited pull on what they can and can't do with an episode. One project I haven't heard being affected by the writer's strike is Captain America: New World Order, which is currently filming. Lots of things are filming. They just already had their content in place. They can't do rewrites. Like, there comes a point where they had to commit to the content they now have, and they're like, if something happens and we have to work around this, we're fucked. Like, Riverdale is filming in Canada right now still. If tomorrow Cole Sprouse had like an accident, sprains his leg, and he no longer can do a scene where he's supposed to run up a hill. They gotta. They're gonna really have to drag out a scene that was supposed to be like 45 seconds and try and make it a 2-minute scene. You're gonna see some, for shows that are still filming right now, you might, when they finally come out, see some weird scene choices where initially they had a scene they thought was only going to be 45 seconds, but because of whatever thing got in their way that changed a scene they planned to do, they might have to make that 45-second scene now drag out to 2 minutes. So say it's a scene where I pick up this bottle of water, drink it while I'm reading chat. I put the bottle back down, I look at the screen, and I'm like, oh! That scene doesn't take a lot of time. But now you've lost another scene where you see me go running down the stairs to the next floor to do something. But because I got an injury, I now can't do that scene. And they're like, how do we fill up this time of another minute? And all of a sudden the scene you see is me being, interesting note. I didn't even notice I had that. I'll have to look at that later. And that's now your scene. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, they'll have to drag out certain scenes that were supposed to be a certain length of time and make them longer to offset things that they now can't do because of whatever the reason. You're going to see some weird scene choices in a few months the longer the strike goes on. Calling it now, Smallville and the Gilmore Girls reruns, and they use it as an excuse to promote Max service when it's because they run out of content. I'm sure those are on reruns somewhere already anyway. They probably sold the rights to those to rerun somewhere already, so they might not even have the rights to air those. Shows do this all the time. Like, if you watch literally, like, if you watch the CW for The Flash or Superman and Lois or whatever, you'll see shows that are actively on the air right now on there before in rerun mode. Like, it used to be The Big Bang Theory all the time. Now it's the Goldbergs and stuff like that. They're actively still on the air at the time they're running reruns on there. So they don't run them as reruns on CBS or ABC, wherever they are, because they've sold the rights to those reruns for what do they call it? The actual, like, important window of time in the day. I can't remember what it's called. They've sold the rights to someone else to air those. So yeah, they're not going to air Smallville or Gilmore Girl reruns in their prime time. Prime time is the word I was looking for, by the way. Prime time slots. John Core acting was good. Chainsaw React hates him for him getting childish. Yeah, I like Chainsaw. Good guy, but he's got unreasonable hate for this character, and it just is what it is. Everybody's got one or two weird little quirks that you can look at and be like, I still like the person, but they have a weird quirk that I don't understand, and that's one of his, right? I prefer Mark over Allegra any day. All right. I can't agree or disagree with that. I like Mark's character, but I don't hate Allegra. Like, I think they give her some scenes that don't make people like her, All right, guys. So I think what am I at here? Okay, 50 minutes. At the 1 hour mark, I will consider whether I'm going on or not any longer than that. I know I've explained this to you guys that have been here for a long time. Anyone that's new, maybe you don't understand. Like, I've said it before. I don't mind giving you guys like an hour of my time, no problem. But there also has to be a cost, point to it as well. And when I don't get super chats, which the last 2 or 3 streams I've done, I think I've gotten like one a stream. It's been kind of slow. I have to just I just have to look at the amount of time I'm talking about topics that we've now talked over 2 or 3 times in the same stream. It just is what it is. So this might be the 10-minute warning. So start thinking of things you want to talk about now, because it's now an 8.5-minute warning. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. What did you think about the part at the end of episode 10 when Eddie Thawne, aka Malcolm Gilmore, was struck by lightning and saw the picture of Eddie and says, "Who the hell is Eddie Thawne?" Well, he doesn't know who Eddie Thawne is yet because he wasn't having those flashbacks yet, right? Easy. I don't know how you expected me to answer that one. They already filmed a bunch of eps for season 2 of Quantum Leap and Night Court because NBC was afraid of strike and started filming season 2 as soon as season 1 finished production. I think there's probably a few shows that probably did little cheats like that as well. I would not be surprised to see a few more shows probably did something similar. But there is a point where you just run out of material. Is it true that Directors Guild might also be going on strike? Yes, there's 3 large strikes or potential strikes all coming at the same time. We have the Writers Guild strike right now is on strike. The Directors Guild might go on strike very soon. And SAG-AFTRA might be going on strike, which is your actors union. These are all coming like here, and here. Like the timing of them could be horrifying for the film industry for the next 6 months. The good news is if they ever get all 3 of these out of the way, they're going to have smooth sailing for like the next 4 to 6 years, depending how long each deal is. How much screen time Rick Cosnet is getting. Normally, Eric Wallace doesn't like to give villains screen time and develop them properly. He always rushes the villains. Well, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I thought it was trippy that the first commercial that aired at the first commercial break for this week's Flash episode was for the Flash movie. Oh, really? Didn't Smallville still film during the last writer's strike? I don't know. That's a long time ago, man. Let's see if I can find that information out. That would have been like 2007, 2008, right? That is season 7. Oh, their Wikipedia page says nothing about it, so I have no idea. Sorry. Like Young Sheldon, it airs new episodes on CBS and reruns on COE. There's another example. Perfect. Yep. When I will rewatch episode 9, 10, and 11, my rank for the episodes, I gave episode 9 a 10 out of 10. I gave 10 a 9 out of 10, and I give 11 a 7 out of 10. because there was some things that confused me. I'm kind of backwards a little bit on yours. I give 10 a 10 and 9 a 9, or more like a 9.25. And 10 I give a 10, and then 11 I give like an 8. Okay. So the new name of the network is the CN Network, aka Crappy Network. Oh wait, the CN is taking Cartoon Network. But is Cartoon Network known as the CN? I don't think it is. CW uses the new WB Discovery deal to air new wrestling, or AEW wrestling, since they have massive deal with them for WB Discovery channels if strike goes on too long. Oh, okay. I mean, that'll fill in a little of their airtime, I guess. I mean, it's better than Whose Line Is It Anyway stuff, right? Like, they'll get more viewers with that. Yeah, when he got those memories of Eddie Thawne as, oh, it's happening. Cobalt Blue is coming, guys. Watch out, Iris and the rest of the team. Right. Apparently, they're not even doing CW upfronts next week due to not ordering new pilots. RIP Powerpuff Girls and Lost Boys planned series. Well, Powerpuff Girls died a while ago. That was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Lost Boys, I forgot about that until right now. But yeah, this isn't news to anyone. Everyone that's been following this knew there was going to be no new shows. They had zero intention of doing new shows, so that wasn't a shock. The only thing they'd have to do at the upfronts would be announce any renewals or cancellations. That's literally it, right? Or to promote the shows that they've bought. You know, they could be like, come and watch our mediocre golf people. You know, they could do that. What's my time here? 58. Okay. I have a question. I know next episode will be, we will see Barry and Nora XS will team up. Do you think that baby Nora will be born in the next episode or the finale? Next episode. I mean, Iris is literally sitting in the delivery room right now, right? Whose Line is canceled, I think, and Colin from it was saying they didn't get paid fairly. Oh, I just was using that as an example, though, as like, you know, how they do things. All right, looks like I've caught up to the chat, and looks like you guys have no more questions for me to answer, and there's honestly only a minute and a half left before the hour is up. So, minute? I don't know. I thought with me being off for 2 weeks, people would have a lot more things they wanted to ask, but I get it. The weather is nice. By the way, guys, I just want to rant for a second about our weather. We are going to have a small bit of a little bit of a situation here coming up, and I am not happy about this at all. Why did it go like this? I had it all set up to show exactly what I wanted to show. There we go. This is middle of May, guys. Middle of fucking May. Our average this time of year would be like 17. Our average at this time of year would probably be like 15 to 18 degrees, guys. It's gonna be 20 fucking 9 on Monday. 29. 29 is not good. For those of you in the Fahrenheit world, 29 is 84. I'm not happy with this. So Mother Nature, no. That's all I have to say about that. No. Bad Mother Nature. All right. Why is it that cold? No, it's Celsius. Celsius is a normal system that has 0 as the freezing point instead of 32 for some weird reason. Yeah. So, yeah. That's it, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. I don't know when my next one will be because, as we've learned, I have been very inconsistent the last few months. In theory, I'd like to say next Wednesday I will be live for episode 12, but I also thought I'd be alive for this week's, and that didn't happen. So maybe Wednesday? Question mark. We'll see. But thanks to everyone that came by. I will see you probably sometime in the future, or the past if you are from the future. Like if you're from 2077 and you're seeing this now, this is your past, but my future. There's knowledge for your brain. All right, have a good one, everyone. See you in the future. I will have Superman 313 video out. I absolutely 100% guarantee before the next episode airs. I have been picking away at doing this for like 3 goddamn weeks. I did the photo selections, then I added the photos in. I still haven't done the audio, but then I gotta do audio over top of some video because I have to take a few seconds of audio out because the audio and video don't line up perfectly from the Patreon clip part. So I gotta take some of the audio out so that I can do the audio properly for the rest of it. And I've been dragging my heels on it. So I assure you by the time the next Superman and Lois episode comes out, it will be finally done. But that is the only announcement I have to make at this moment. See you in the future. Good night.